The town was never a prison.
It was a test.
And the terrifying truth is, the people trapped inside from may not have been chosen randomly. They may have been selected long before they ever saw that mysterious tree blocking the road. Because when you look back at everything that happened since season one pattern keeps appearing. The town doesn't just trap people. It studies them. It watches how they react to fear. It watches who breaks. It watches who survives. And most importantly, it watches who starts asking the right questions. But here's what changes everything. What if the monsters, the strange symbols, the tunnels, the visions, and even the impossible roads are not separate mysteries? What if they are all parts of one massive system? A system designed for one purpose: to find something hidden inside the people who arrive there. Because the biggest mystery of From has never been, where is the town? That's not the real mystery. The real mystery is, why does the town choose certain people? And what if the answer was hidden in plain sight since the very first episode? Look at what the show is actually telling us. Every person who arrives in this place has a story, a trauma,
A regret.
a broken part of themselves. They are not normal travelers who accidentally got lost. They are people running from something. Boyd was carrying the weight of responsibility. He was a soldier trying to protect everyone while his own body was failing him. Jade was a genius who believed he could solve everything with logic until the town showed him something that logic could not explain. Tabitha was a mother carrying guilt and fear, trying to understand a place that seemed connected to her deepest emotions. Victor was not just a survivor. He was someone who had been connected to this nightmare since childhood. And this is where it gets darker. The town may not be creating their suffering. It may be exposing what was already inside them. The creatures that come at night might not simply be predators hunting humans. They might be part of a larger experiment. An experiment where fear is the weapon, and human choices are the results being measured. Because think about it. If the only goal was to kill everyone, why give them hope? Why create the illusion that escape is possible? Why leave clues? Why allow people like Jade and Tabitha to discover pieces of the truth? The town constantly gives them just enough information to continue searching, but never enough to escape. This detail is something many viewers miss. The town is not silent. It communicates. Through symbols, through dreams, through visions, through strange encounters, through people who appear at impossible moments. The boy in white, the voices on the radio, the mysterious numbers, the bottle trees, the drawings, the monsters themselves. Everything feels connected. And that means the biggest mistake everyone has made is assuming these things are random. They are not random. They are messages. But the question is,
Who is sending them? And why?
because since season one, there has always been a strange contradiction. The town wants people alive, but it also wants them afraid. The monsters do not attack like normal creatures. They don't run. They don't chase. They walk slowly. They smile. They talk. They manipulate. Almost like they know something the humans don't. Almost like they are not hunting bodies. They are hunting minds. And this is where the entire theory begins. What if the monsters are not the true enemy? What if they are just guards? A security system protecting the real secret buried beneath the town? Because every time someone gets close to understanding the truth, something happens. The rules change. A new threat appears. A new mystery begins. A new distraction arrives.
It is almost like the town itself is reacting.
Like it is alive. Like it is defending its secrets. And that brings us to the most important clue. The people trapped inside From keep discovering that the answers are connected to the past. The children. The symbols. The old buildings. The tunnels. The previous residents. The forgotten history. Everything points backward. Which means the town is not a new creation. It is something ancient. Something that has been repeating the same cycle over and over again. But here's the terrifying possibility. What if this cycle was never about escaping? What if the cycle exists because the town is waiting for someone to complete something? Someone who can finally understand the truth. Someone who can break the pattern. Someone who is chosen. And maybe that person was there from the beginning. Because when we look at the first season again, one thing becomes impossible to ignore. The people who arrive are not simply victims. They are pieces on a board. Every person has a role. Every tragedy pushes the story forward. Every discovery happens at exactly the right moment. That is not an accident. That is design. And if this theory is true, then the biggest revelation of From season May 4th not be discovering where the town came from. It may be discovering why these specific people were brought there. Because the town did not find them. The town was waiting for them. And the next clues hidden in season 1 reveal something even more disturbing. The first person who understood this place may have never escaped. They may still be inside, watching, waiting, and leaving behind clues for the next person to finish what they started. The first major clue that this town is not a random nightmare comes from one simple fact. Everyone who enters follows the same pattern. They lose control. They discover impossible rules. They try to escape. And then the town changes. That last part is what matters. Because a normal prison does not react to the prisoners. A normal trap does not create new challenges when someone starts understanding it. But From does. Every time someone gets closer to the truth, the mystery becomes deeper. And this is where it gets darker. What if the town is not trying to stop them from escaping? What if it is trying to stop them from understanding what they really are? Because since season 1, the show has been quietly suggesting that knowledge itself is dangerous. The more people learn, the more the town reveals. But every revelation comes with a price. Look at Jade. When he first arrives, he believes everything has a logical explanation. He sees the town as a puzzle, a problem waiting to be solved. But the town does something very interesting with Jade. It does not simply attack him. It communicates with him. It shows him symbols. It gives him visions. It forces him to look deeper.
Why?
Because Jade is not being punished for searching. He is being guided. And this is the detail everyone missed. The town does not treat everyone the same way. Some people are hunted. Some people are tested. Some people are shown things. That difference matters. Because if this place was only about survival, everyone would experience the same nightmare. But they don't. The town chooses how much truth each person can handle. And that suggests there is a hidden purpose behind every encounter. Now look at Tabitha. Her journey completely changes the meaning of the town. For a long time, everyone believed the outside world was the only answer. The goal was simple. Find a way out. Escape. Return home. But Tabitha's discoveries introduce a terrifying possibility. What if the town is not disconnected from reality? What if it exists between different worlds? A place where memories, fears, and forgotten histories can overlap. Because the strange events surrounding the town are not just physical. They are psychological. People don't only see monsters. They see things connected to their past. Their fears. Their guilt. Their unfinished stories. That is not how a normal monster story works. This is something much bigger. The town is not just trapping people. It is forcing them to confront something. And maybe that is the real experiment. Not survival. Transformation. Because think about Victor. His entire existence challenges everything we think we know. Victor has been there since childhood. He survived something that destroyed almost everyone around him. But the strange thing is, Victor is not just a survivor. He is a living memory of the town. He remembers things nobody else can. He knows details that should be impossible. And the biggest question is, why was Victor allowed to survive? If the monsters wanted everyone gone, why leave one child alive? Why preserve someone who could remember the past? Unless Victor was never an accident. Unless his survival was part of the design. Because Victor may not simply hold memories. He may hold the missing pieces of the original story. The story that explains why this place exists. And this brings us to the monsters. For years, viewers have assumed the creatures are the ultimate evil. But what if they are only one layer of the system? Because their behavior is strange. They don't behave like animals. They don't attack from instinct. They communicate. They manipulate. They create fear. They understand human emotions. That means they are not just killing machines. They are psychological weapons. Their purpose may not be to eliminate people. Their purpose may be to control them. Fear creates predictable behavior. Fear makes people desperate. Fear forces people to reveal who they really are. And if the town is studying people, fear would be the perfect tool. But here's what changes everything. The monsters also follow rules. They cannot appear whenever they want. They follow a pattern. They have limitations. And whenever something has rules, it usually means there is a system behind it. A system with a creator. A system with a purpose. So the question changes. Instead of asking, where did the monsters come from? We should ask, who designed the rules they follow? Because the rules are the biggest clue. The talismans, the buildings, the tunnels, the strange creatures, the visions. They all operate under specific conditions. Nothing feels random. It feels controlled, like someone built a nightmare with carefully designed boundaries. And if that is true, then the town is not chaos. It is a machine designed to produce a result. And this is where the Season 1 events become much more important. Remember the first days after everyone arrived. The panic, the confusion, the arguments, the mistakes, the deaths. At first, it looked like the beginning of a horror story. But what if it was actually the beginning of a test? Because the town immediately separates people into different roles. The leaders, the believers, the skeptics, the investigators, the survivors, the broken ones. Everyone starts revealing their true nature. And the town responds, almost like it is collecting information, almost like it already knows what each person will become. That means the biggest mystery may not be the location. It may be the purpose. Why create a place where humans are pushed to their absolute limits? Why repeat the same cycle? Why leave clues instead of hiding everything? Because maybe the town is not trying to keep a secret. Maybe it is searching for someone who can uncover it. Someone who can reach the end of the puzzle. Someone who can understand why the cycle exists. And if that person succeeds, the entire system could collapse. But if they fail, the cycle begins again. And this is the terrifying possibility hidden underneath everything. The people trapped in From may not be the first. They may only be the latest group. Another chapter in a story that has been repeating for generations. And the final clue may have been hidden in the one place everyone ignored, the very beginning. Because Season 1 did not just introduce the mystery. It revealed the rules. And once you understand those rules, you start seeing the town differently. The monsters, the visions, the disappearances, the impossible roads. They are not separate mysteries. They are pieces of the same design. And the person who created that design may have been watching since the first day they arrive. If this theory is correct, then every major character in From has been playing a role in a much bigger story. Not a story about escaping a town. A story about discovering why the town exists. And this is where everything changes. Because the people trapped inside this nightmare may not have been brought there because they were unlucky. They may have been brought there because each person represents something the town needs. A piece of a puzzle, a specific type of person, a specific type of mind, a specific type of survivor. Look at Boyd. At first, Boyd appears to be the hero of the story, the man trying to keep everyone alive. But there is something deeper happening with him. Boyd is not just fighting monsters. He is fighting the impossible responsibility of protecting people in a place where the rules are designed to break hope. The town constantly forces Boyd into impossible decisions. Save one person or risk many. Trust someone or doubt them. Move forward or accept defeat. The town keeps testing his leadership. And that is important, because if this place is an experiment, then Boyd is the perfect subject. The town wants to know what happens when a person who believes in protecting others is pushed beyond human limits. Will he become a savior? Or will he become another victim of the system? That is the question the town keeps asking. And then there is Jade, the opposite side of Boyd. Where Boyd represents emotion and responsibility, Jade represents intelligence and discovery. He is the person who refuses to accept impossible answers. He keeps searching for patterns, symbols, connections, hidden meanings. And maybe that is why the town keeps showing him things. Because Jade is not simply investigating the mystery. He is being pulled deeper into it. But here's what changes everything. What if Jade is not discovering the town's secrets? What if the town is revealing only what it wants him to discover? Because a perfect trap does not hide everything. A perfect trap gives you just enough truth to keep you moving, just enough hope to continue, just enough answers to make you believe the next clue will be the final one. And that is exactly what happens to Jade. Every answer creates a bigger question. Every discovery opens another door. The mystery never ends. It expands. Now look at Tabitha. Her story may actually reveal the true purpose of the town, because Tabitha is connected to something deeper than survival. She is connected to the children,
The past.
the hidden history, the possibility that this nightmare existed long before anyone currently trapped there arrived. And this is the detail everyone missed. Tabitha's journey suggests that the town does not simply capture people. It connects them. Different people, different timelines, different generations. Almost like everyone who arrives becomes part of the same unfinished story. A story that began before them. A story that will continue after them. And then we reach Victor, the character who may hold the greatest secret of all. Because Victor is proof that this cycle has happened before. He is living evidence that the town has a history. A forgotten history. A history that someone tried to erase. Victor's memories are not just memories. They are pieces of a previous version of the same nightmare. And maybe the reason Victor survived is because the town needed someone to remember. Someone to preserve the clues. Someone to guide the next generation of trapped people. Because without Victor, the cycle would reset completely. But with Victor, the past survives. And that leads us to the biggest question. Who started this cycle? Who built this place? Who created the rules? Because the answer may not be a monster. It may be something much worse. A person, or a force, that understands human nature so deeply that it created a world designed around fear, hope, and impossible choices. A world where the strongest weapon is not claws or teeth. It is uncertainty. The town's greatest power is making people question reality itself. And that may explain the strangest part of From. The town rarely lies. It tells the truth. But it tells the truth in pieces. Through symbols. Through visions. Through nightmares. Through memories. Because maybe the truth is too dangerous to reveal all at once. And this is where it gets darker. What if the town is not hiding the exit? What if the town is hiding the reason nobody should leave? Because imagine the possibility. Imagine that escaping is not the end of the story. Imagine that leaving the town only completes the final step. What if the people inside are not prisoners trying to escape a cage? What if they are the final pieces needed to unlock something? Something that has been waiting for them since the beginning? Because the biggest clue has always been the same. The town does not randomly destroy people. It transforms them. Some become leaders. Some become investigators. Some become believers. Some become broken. But everyone changes. Everyone becomes part of the mystery. And maybe that is the true purpose.
Not to kill them.
Not to trap them. To change them into something the town needs. Which means the final battle may not be humans versus monsters. It may be humans versus the truth. Because once they discover why they were chosen, they may realize the most terrifying thing of all. They were never trying to escape a place. They were trying to escape a purpose. A purpose that was assigned to them the moment they arrived. And if the town has been waiting since season 1, if every clue, every death, and every mystery has been leading toward one final answer, then the question is no longer, who built the town? The question is, who is the town built for? Because the person at the center of this nightmare may not be the one controlling it. They may be the one the entire system has been waiting to find. And when that person finally understands the truth, the town will not try to stop them. It will finally reveal why it brought them there. Because maybe the greatest secret of From was never hidden beneath the tunnels. Never hidden inside the monsters. Never hidden in the forest. Maybe the truth was hidden in the people themselves, since the very first day they arrived.